And new details emerging about the former U.S. Marine killed in combat in Ukraine. 22-year-old Willie Cancel reportedly served in the military for 4 years. Brian Todd has more.
He's a 22-year-old American and leaves behind a wife and 7-month-old baby. Former U.S. Marine Willie Joseph Cancel killed on the battlefield in Ukraine. That's according to Cancel's mother, who spoke to CNN. Neither Cancel's mother nor U.S. officials could provide information on how or where Cancel was killed.
We know a family is mourning, a wife is mourning, and our hearts are with them.
Cancel's mother tells CNN he was working a full-time job as a corrections officer in Tennessee when he signed up to work for a private military contracting company shortly before the Ukraine war broke out. When the conflict began, she says, Cancel agreed to go. He flew to Poland on March 12th and crossed into Ukraine shortly thereafter. She says he was being paid while he was fighting there.
That's a horse of a different color than his being directly in some kind of Ukrainian foreign legion. And that begs the question, who's the client of this private contracting company? Is it for the government of Ukraine?
No immediate answers to those questions, and U.S. officials say they don't have an exact count of how many Americans are fighting in Ukraine. A Ukrainian defense official told CNN in early March that at that time, more than 20,000 people from more than 50 countries had expressed a desire to join the fight. CNN has interviewed some Americans who volunteered. Former TV analyst Malcolm Nance described fighting in a special Ukrainian unit called the International Legion.
It is not just people running around, grabbing rifles, and going on the battlefield. It is a unified force that is a component of the Ukrainian army that is deployed on the battlefront.
But another American fighting there, James Vasquez, told CNN he was moving around loosely.
Right now, I'm pretty much a ghost. Me and a British soldier, him and I have been kind of like going from unit to unit, wherever we're needed the most.
But U.S. officials are again warning Americans, don't go to Ukraine to fight.
This is an active war zone. This is not the place to be traveling to.
State Department officials say Russian forces could single out Americans fighting in Ukraine. One official warning that captured Americans could be subject to, quote, heightened risk of mistreatment.
And it is not hard to imagine a situation in which a captured American is tortured, is executed on the battlefield, or is just sent back to Moscow to be some type of pawn for political exchange.
At the time she spoke to CNN, Willie Cancel's mother said the people who notified her of his death said his body had not been found. Cancel's mother said the men who were with him were trying to recover Cancel's body, but that it was too dangerous.